and let us have some education time together. First of all, say hello to each other, because we will disable the chat, so we will avoid people fighting, calling names, and that will lead YouTube to take our video down. So concentrate with us. We will keep the chat open when we have a chat time. Like yesterday, we have it twice. So we will make a time for where, we are just doing normal chat, nothing serious. And Muslims, they are welcome to post their comment to refute me. And as you see today, actually, I'm going to show the Muslim comments in the screen to show you how Muslims, they really, they have answers. I don't ever saw a Muslim, he don't have answers. Dawood saying to Christian prince, you, the so-called prince, the biggest liar and deceiver. I don't know what I promised you or lied to you. Like, is it me who promised you version if you believe in me? Have you ever heard of a God? Like when we were kids, there is like the parents, they use a method. If you do this, I will do this to you. I will buy you ice cream. So your God, he think about you as a low IQ creature. And what is the ice cream? I wish it's an ice cream. Imagine there's somebody claimed to be God. He promised me a human being, she will be my sex slave. And then he promised you little boys who will be, according to Muslims and understanding supposedly, they will be serving you for eternity. Slavery in heaven, child abuse in heaven. Yeah, Allah is saying the truth. All right. Here we have another Muslim. You see, the Muslims, we talk about everything. They answer nothing of what we say in the video. And then they come to you with verses. They say, hey, CP, can you explain these verses? And then say anything? Like, can you? Come on, you will go mute. Okay, what those verses? Look, everyone who divorce his wife and marry another commit adultery, and he who marries a woman divorced from her husband commit adultery. Can you explain that? Yes, Aziz, we can, even though you are not asking to be explained, because I'm sure you ask this question 25 times a day to Christians and they answer you, but you repeat it because you are empty vessel. The Bible, Jesus, he forbid people from divorcing women unless they commit adultery. And adultery had many aspects in Christianity. As an example, like the Bible says in the Old Testament that the earth commit adultery. The earth. But can the earth, is adultery something sexual? Adultery is any sin, let us say, serious one against God. So the Jews before, they used to do the same as Muslims today. They marry the women, and when she get older, she don't look as before, they divorce her and get a brand new one, younger one. So Jesus, he noticed them, how greedy and how they are abusing the marriage. The marriage is not a marriage no more. Women are treated badly. So Jesus, he forbid men from abusing women and divorcing them unless she cheated on you. And cheating can be in many ways, It can be like physically. It can be by leaving you. If a man, his wife, she left you, what he can do, right? So if you marry a woman and she is divorced for such a reason, then you are marrying an adulterer. That's what the verse is saying. So you are silly as you like your prophet, but I understand. Then wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. So you Muslims now against that the man is the head of the house. The Bible confirms that the man is the head of the house, and women are obedience to their husband, but by love, not by slavery. Which means the Bible says that the Messiah said to us that the man, he have to love his wife the same and sacrifice to her the same as the Messiah, he sacrificed to the church. So the Messiah, he made the women equal to the church, And the man who is the head of the house does not mean he is the head to abuse, he is head to serve. So he's asking me, can you explain that? The question is now, if I give you the same question, actually, we did not give you a question about the same comment you made about Luke. What is the view of Muslims of women she cheat? Just to show you that your prophet, he is a copy of Christianity and Judaism. And just to show you that Muslims are a bunch of ignorant when it's come to their religion. If you go to the yellow pages of Muhammad, so-called Quran, you will see the following. Just to show you that when we speak to Muslims, they have no idea what Islam is about. They are just copy-paste. This is your prophet copying Jesus. I mean, have you ever seen ignorance like this? This is chapter 24, verse number 3. Let no man guilty of adultery or fornication marry, but a woman of similar guilt. And here you notice that Jesus, he forbid that. Muhammad, he make it like a corporation of adultery. So look what you are complaining about. And let me ask you here now. You are complaining about Jesus saying that the man who marry, obviously an adulterer, he is committing adultery. And now your prophet saying that a man who want to marry, if he is an adulterer, he have to marry an adulterer like him. I want to ask you, what is the wisdom? What is the wisdom that will provide or deliver to us nice family and kids of two parents who they are fornicators and adulterers? At least have one in the family, he can fix things. So now we have two parents who they are, according to the verse here, they are bad. And here you will see that unbeliever should not marry anyone except an unbeliever like them. And later Muhammad, he changed his mind about the unbeliever and he ordered the Muslims, you can marry Christians, because Muhammad is a fraud. I mean, how God, he says something in the morning and he changed his mind afternoon. If marrying a unbeliever is sin, well, it should stay sin. The Muslim, they will say to you, oh, this verse is abrogated. And the God who abrogated himself, he found himself mistakenly making orders, and then he abrogated his order. And remember, this is not abrogation between two prophets, like there's a centuries between them, so what it was for a certain time is not good for a certain time. This is the same guy, the same, you know, many of the verses, he made them in the morning, he changed them afternoon. So what you are complaining about, your prophet, he's trying to copy from the Bible, but he, as usual, because he is you know, and by the way, as long the one who commit adultery, he cannot marry anyone except the one who commit adultery like him. So why Muhammad marry Aisha? Aisha, she was a child, she did not commit adultery. Your prophet is adulteress. And the Quran speak about that. Did your prophet go to the house of his own son and he flirt with the wife which he is married? And this is according to you Muslims, flirt with who? With the wife of his son. Well, according to Jesus Christ, the God who we worship, that is a form of adultery. The man who wished a woman, she is not his, he committed sin, adultery. So here you see that your prophet, he is a fornicator, he raped women, he kidnapped women from their husbands. And then, like Safiya as an example, and then he speak about fornication. Fornicator should not marry unless a fornicator. And then you are complaining about what is written in the Bible. Let us go back to the comment section so we can laugh more. Then he says, you're talking about submit to your husband, right? So which one is better? A woman should be obedient to her husband, or the Quran saying beat your wife if she don't obey you? Just to show you the hypocrisy of the Muhammadan. Jesus, he said that the woman, she should obey her husband, but the husband, he should give himself, sacrifice himself to the wife, the same as Christ sacrificed himself to the church. Let us see the value of women. What return women she will get in Islam when she is obedient? Nothing. You are just one of many wives. He can exchange you. He can even text you by, he can divorce you by text message. So if we go here, you will see the Quran teaching us that not only the women have to be obedient, if they are not, we can beat them. So I'm not sure you are complaining about what. You are a follower of religion, not only forcing the women to be obedient to the husband, you are saying if she don't obey you, beat the hell of her. And the Muslims in their translation, they try to make it look nicer. And like there's a woman, her name Armstrong, she is a fraud. She starts saying, oh, the word udrubuhunna means stay away from them, you idiot. It says there already, stay away from them. Jail them in their beds. And the Muslims, to make it nicer, they say, first, admonish them. Next, refuse to share bed with them. And at least beat them, and they put between the bracket lightly. I mean, does the Quran say the word lightly? No. Is it between two brackets because it's not in the Quran? Yes. So why you say lightly? If Allah himself, he did not say lightly, how this has become lightly? We can show you from the hadith how Muhammad, he took a side of a man, he did beat his wife until he made her skin greener than her clothes. What? Greener. And we can show you a first-hand witness, the wife of Muhammad, the woman you almost worship, her name is Aisha. Why you appreciate too much Aisha? Because Muhammad, he liked children's to be his wife. Aisha said, not Christian Prince, I have not seen any women suffering as much as I believe in women. So Aisha, she is witnessing the most suffering women ever. It's not the Christians. It's not those who worship idols. It's not the Hindus. It's not the Buddhas. It is a belief in women. Where is the suffering coming from? Look, her skin greener than her clothes. And then Muhammad, what he said to her? Muhammad, he said to her, well, you know what? The husband, he told him, well, you know, she's trying, she want to get back to the previous husband. She did not cheat yet. She's not cheating with anyone. But she don't. The reason of this story, because Muhammad, he made a stupid rule in the Quran. If a man, he divorced his wife 3 times, the woman, she cannot get back to the husband unless she go and have sex with a new husband. Can you believe it? So now this woman, she been divorced by her husband 3 times. And now she have to follow the rules of Islam. She is a Muslim. What is the rules? Well, you have to find a new guy. He do boom boom to you. And then after he do boom boom to you and he divorce you, you can get back to your previous husband. So this woman, she is avoiding to have boom boom with this guy. She married him just for the purpose, obviously, to get back to the previous husband. It's like, you know, playing the trick of law, going around it. If a husband divorces his wife, all right, he cannot after that remarry her until she has married another husband and he has divorced her. So if your father, he divorced your mother, she have to find a guy. She have to go find somebody, maybe in Facebook, and say, who is willing to have boom boom with me? So you marry me for a few days and then divorce me, and then I can go back to my husband because I have children. I need to take care of them. What kind of logic? This is a pure fornication. This is just a pure fornication. The Muslim, they will say to you, oh no, you see, the husband here, he abused the divorce right. So he divorced her 3 times. So Allah wanna teach him a lesson. So you cannot get her back until she sleep with other one, and he will be upset. For his wife is, my friend, the one who is sleeping is his wife, not him. This guy, he don't care already. If he care, he will not do that. Secondly, I mean, how stupid that is to force a woman to sleep with a new man, and you are saying this is a punishment for the husband. Is that how you fix a marriage? Go find a new boyfriend? Do boom boom? So what happened in the story here, the woman, she did marry this guy so she can get back to her husband, previous husband, but she don't want to do the boom boom part. And then Muhammad, he said to her, look carefully. He said to her, well, if this is your intention, to get back to your husband, previous husband, Rif'a, to remarry Rif'a, you cannot do that. Then you know that it's unlawful for you to remarry Rif'a unless Abdul Rahman had sexual intercourse with you. It's a condition. You have to take off your panty. You want to get back to the previous husband? You have to take off your panty. I mean, can you believe that this is a prophet of God and there is somebody believe that this guy is a prophet? Is that a hippie prophet? What is this? And the translation, by the way, is absolutely false, because in Arabic it doesn't say until you have intercourse with her or with him. No. It says until he tastes your juice, your sexual juice, and you taste his sexual juice. So obviously Islam is a perverted cult. While Christ is forbidding people from doing anything even close to that, even looking is a sin. Which means all of us, we commit sin. This is how far we are from God. So from the highest standard of the teaching of Christ to the trashy standard of Muhammad. You cannot get back your husband unless you boom boom with someone else. What is that? And did Muhammad say to him, why you beat her? He did not even question the beating. Actually, he gave him the verse saying, and those women who you fear disobedience, beat them. The Muslim, they lie, they say obedience here about cheating. You're a liar. In Islam, cheating, the punishment is death, supposedly. But even that is impossible to prove, because your prophet, he wanted to escape from the cheating part of his wife Aisha. So he made it 4 witnesses, and they have to see the private part of the man going in and out, which is impossible. Imagine you go to the bedroom, you find your wife with a guy, and they are doing whatever. And then what you can do? You cannot accuse her of fornication. You have to call 4 people, and the 4 people come. And then the 4 of them, they have to see his private part, excuse my language, going in and out. How you can prove that? How you can see that? There's a guy who saw a man having sex with a woman, and he described that he saw her legs like a horn or like the ears of a donkey behind the head of the man. You know what position we are talking about. Still the caliphate beat him because he said to him, did you see that thing going in? Did you see it going in and out? He said, no, this is what I saw. He said, see, there's no adultery. I mean, his legs around his head. Her legs is around his head. He is in the top of her. And the caliphate, he said to him, did you see it in and out? He said, no. He said, okay, there's no adultery. And he did beat him. He did lash him. This is your cult. And why he did lash him? Because he did not give a proof. What is the proof? So Muhammad, he made it impossible to prove any cheating. Chapter 24, verse number 4. And those who launches a charge against chaste women and produce not 4 witnesses, flog them with 80 stripe. 4 witnesses. I mean, look at this. You can prove a man killed a man by 2 witnesses. Muhammad, he make it 4 witnesses in order to defend his wife. The Muslim, they would say this verse came after his wife or before his wife. You know, when the Muslim, they say before and after, I love, because we have a proof that all this before and after is messed up. Secondly, I challenge you to stay with the proof of before and after, because that will be used against you in different issues. So this is Islam, and this is Islam of fornication. You see, there's a huge difference between like a human being, you know, all of us, we are human, we do sin, but this guy claimed to be a prophet of God, and he is, you know, and this is the word of God. This is God himself talking, supposedly. And then this God, he is saying that you need to bring 4 witnesses to prove chastity, to prove adultery. So anytime you have to go to your wife, you have to go with 4 people. And not only that, I mean, I don't want to speak in a bad language, but imagine the women, I don't know how to say this. Imagine she is having sex, but she is covered. Let us say they are under blanket. That means you saw nothing, even if you have 4 witnesses. The second is not in and out. It's mean that there is no proof. That's it. You're you know, you cannot. And not only that, Muhammad, you have a very weird rules. As an example, if you discover that your wife, let us say you got 4 witnesses, and you were able to prove that your wife, she was sleeping around, and you were able to prove that all the kids you have, they are not your kids. Guess what? According to Muhammad, that the son belonged to the bed, not to the real father. What does that mean? That's mean if I go sleep with your wife, and your wife, she have a child from me, my child is going to inherit your money. Still, he is your son, you like it or not. Even if you have a mountains of evidence that the child is not your son. And here you notice the contradiction of these rules with what Muhammad, he said that adoption is not right. Because isn't it, this is a form of adoption? And here you notice too how dangerous that is. If you have a wife, she cheated on you, and you are a Muslim, and now she gave you, let us say, a son or a daughter. Let us say a daughter. Isn't it dangerous to leave the daughter of the one who slept with your wife in your bedroom? Because she is not your daughter. How Islam justify that a strange child can be in the lap of a strange man who is already angry so much from that child, for he is the fruit of cheating? You can imagine what will happen to this child as a part of revenge if this person, he decide to be evil. So when a Muslim, he complain, we laugh. And not to forget to mention, at least here this child is a child of a stranger, but from your wife, but Muhammad, he forced you to adopt him by name, which means he is going to inherit you. But what about having sex with your own children? If you remember, the Muslim, they speak about that the daughters of Lot, they have sex with their father. You see, the Bible report what people do. But the Bible does not say that they are good women. The Bible does not say, oh, God told them do that. So if I do something, and let us say I was exist in that time, this guy, he committed adultery, and they wrote about this person. Let us say it's me. That doesn't mean that God told me. They are reporting a story, history. The Muslim, they make a big story about it. Okay, no problem. What about I show you right now that you can have sex with your daughter, if she is a daughter from adultery? Your daughter from your blood. If you go in the Quran, you will find a verse speak how Allah, he considered the lineage between father and son, father and daughter. Chapter 25, verse number 54. وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا فَجَعَلَهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا. It is he who created from water a man, and he made it a lineage by marriage. What does that mean? According to the Sharia law, if you are a son of someone, let us say your father, he slept with your mother, but they are not married, you cannot carry the father name. You cannot inherit him. But the irony is, as we showed you, you can carry the money of somebody and his name even if he's not your father, just because the husband he was married to your mother, who she slept with different man. Do you see the stupidity? So here you can, in this case here, a man is sleeping with your mother. I'm not talking about anyone, I'm just giving you an example. And he make her have you. You will have the money of this man and you will inherit his name, for the child belong to the bed owner, not to the real father. In the other scenario, the child will not inherit anything, even if he is the real child, because he is not from marriage. What is that? And then if you go and read the interpretation, you will find the interpretation saying clearly that this is about the following. If a man have sex with a woman from adultery, and she have a daughter from him, he can have sex with the mother and her daughter. And you know, because I know the Muslims will say this is not a true CP. So what about we show that it is true? Shall we? You know them. It's not a true. Nothing is true. This is the official government website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I remember I said to myself I will make a short video. I don't know how I can do that. And this is the interpretation. It says, قال ابن العربي النسب عبارة عن خلق الماء بين الذكر والأنثى على وجه الشرع، فإن كان بمعصية كان خلقا مطلقا ولم يكن نسبا محققا، ولذلك لم يدخل تحت قوله حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم بنته من الزنا، لأنها ليست ببنت له في أصح القولين لعلمائنا وأصح القول في الدين. وإذا لم يكن نسبا شرعا فلا صهر شرعا، فلا يحرم الزنا، يحرم الزنا بنت ولا بنت. So she is not forbidden from you, your daughter, to have sex with her. And now they can say whatever they want. I can click like just translate to English. For sure Google will not give us good translation, but better than nothing, you know. The lineage is referred to mixing water between male and female according to the manner of Sharia. And if it was a sin, which means the result of this thing, which means the fornication, it's absolutely a creation, not established lineage. Even the stupid translation of Google is coming fine. Therefore, it did not come under saying your mother and your daughter are forbidden for you. The Quran forbid you from having sex with your daughter, but not if she is a daughter from fornication, as you see. And this is the most accurate statement of the scholars. And if there is no lineage, which forbid by law, which means you cannot have sex with your daughter, then adultery is not forbidden with the girl and the mother of the girl. The girl of who? Your daughter. How this can be from God? You tell me. How evil, how disgusting. So when two women in the Old Testament, they have sexual intercourse with their father, and not because they are horny, but because there's no men around and they were afraid, they will never have children and they will die in the wilderness alone. The Muslims, they speak about it non-stop. The Bible, did you see the Bible story in the Bible? First, this is a story of two women, they did something. Not God said to them, it's not God who appeared to them. He said, hey women, I want you today to have sex with your father. I mean, shameful. Here we find a God saying to the Muslims, go and have sex with your own daughter if she is a daughter from adultery. And this is a warning for those who want to take a, there's people who they are not religious, they don't care for religion, they don't give, and they go and have a Muslim boyfriend.